So it's the big game of March Day 27, Spurs taking on Manchester City. This time around, this game, the stakes are not so high, for either side. But I mean, this fixture is one that, historically it always serves us all the drama for several reasons or for any reason at all. But I'm just going to go straight into it, Victor. Seeing as the stakes are not so high for this one, City are not realistically chasing the title. Spurs are not even chasing the top four spot. They are just fighting for their pride at this point. Do you think both teams will put in their best efforts?
I think it's a game that will not be short on entertainment. It will still be a good game, but maybe rather due to mistakes more than either team trying too hard. Having said that, there's still plenty to play for from a City perspective. They still need as many points as possible in order to stay in the top four, where they are at the moment, just about.
Yeah,
And I find it hard to believe that they'll like prioritize the FA Cup over the top four, you know. So I think it will still be a good game, but whether it's because of efforts or mistakes, I'm leaning towards mistakes.
yeah, fair enough. And still for you, Victor, there is a possibility now at this point that City could even miss out on top four. I mean, when you look at the points, when you look at the points surrounding them and the three or four sides below them, there is a possibility, at least mathematically. For a second, let's assume City do miss out on top four and by extension, no Champions League football next season. Do you think some big players will leave the club if that were to happen?
Yeah, well, first of all, they it's quite realistic to expect that England is going to have five in the next season of the Champions League. So they could finish fifth and still make it in. However, even fifth isn't really guaranteed because of how tight everything is. So if we say okay, they're missing out on Champions League. If you look at the squad, okay, De Bruyne is as good as gone anyway, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so does that count? Nah, bit of a dilemma there. I don't think there will be a mass exodus. I think the verdict on the charges is going to have more of a bearing on that than the league position, the Champions League participation. I think if Guardiola stays, which is most likely the case, everyone will go into next season with the belief that okay, we're back at it. Last season was just a blip. But if they get to November this year and it's the same situation again, yeah, things might change.
Yeah, fair enough. Over to you, Max. Seeing the form of both sides, Tottenham have been atrocious. Injuries have not been kind to them and whatnot. City as well, sometimes it seems like, oh, they're back, and then the next game they just move two steps backward. So it's been like a yo yo form for both sides. But taking all of that into account, who do you think will come out on top in this game?
Yeah, at some point of that season, I somehow became a Man City believer, and most of the times when I predicted them to win, they finished losing. So I'll go opposite this time. I guess Tottenham are not going to lose. So I'd say draw or Tottenham win.
Oh, so that means, Max, you've already answered the next question. I was going to say Tottenham have been like a boogie team for Manchester City. I mean, even there was a time, was it last season or last two seasons, where City won the league, but Tottenham were the only team to beat them, I think in both legs or something like that. Tottenham have always been known to cause problems for City, at least in recent years. If they can do more of the same this time around, Victor.
Yeah, they if you look just at calendar year 2024, they played four times against each other, twice City won, twice Spurs won. It was also that 4-0 like in November, if I remember correctly, this season. So I don't think we'll see a Spurs 4-0 win again, but yeah, stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. And this one is just also more opinion based than fact or anything, Victor. Tottenham are potentially facing their lowest Premier League finish in over 16 years. I mean, they could this could be their worst finish in 16 years. If that happens, do you think it is a sackable offense for Postecoglou? Also consider the injuries and whatever, but regardless, do you think it's a sackable offense for him?
It might not necessarily be a sackable offense depending on their Europa League progress. I think that's where that's what his job hinges on at the moment. Um, if he manages to get them that trophy, I think he stays and I think he should stay. I wonder, for instance, what happens if they reach the final and they lose it. That would be an interesting scenario, but there's still a long road ahead. However, if they go out in the round of 16 against Alkmaar, I think he'll be sacked on the spot.
Yeah, fair enough. And moving over to you, Max. Who are the key players to watch out for, or the tactical battles that can decide the game?
Okay, for Tottenham, we should obviously take someone from midfield. So I'd say Madison gonna play a big role in this game. While for City, it has to be somebody from the offense because we all know Tottenham defense is awful. So I take Marmoush from City.
Yeah, Victor, you.
I'm looking at tactical battles, and I'm like two areas are lighting up in my head at least. It's Savinho and Udogie. I'm liking the Brazilian. Okay, I'm really liking his football, and he seems just as much of a handful as Doku on the other flank, but he has more tangible output. He has more to show for. So I think that's one of them, and the other battle that should be very interesting is Madison against Nico Gonzalez. I think Madison loves these late runs into the box, and I'm not too sure City, specifically Nico Gonzalez, will be able to track all of them. So I think if Tottenham manage to score, which I believe they will, at least one goal might come from there.
Fair enough. Very solid points on both sides. And just on the final note, score predictions, Max.
I'd say, let's say 2-2.
Playing it safe. Victor, yours.
Yeah, Max kind of took mine, so I'll call back to the predictions video and I'll say 5-2 for City.
Wow. I'm actually going with 3-1 in favor of City. 3-1. I definitely think both teams will score, but yeah, I'm going with 3-1. So
Not bad.
basically from all we are saying, nobody expects City to lose. Interesting. Nobody expects City to lose. A draw, a win, and a win.
Yeah,
Okay.
like jokes aside, I would have gone with 2-2 as well, but you asked Max first. So I would say draw, but if I need to pick a winner, I'm looking rather at City than at
If you
Spurs.
want, I can change 3-2 for Tottenham.
No. It's okay. Keep your 2-2. I'll go with my 5-2.
Yeah, I can imagine the odds on that scoreline though, 5-2. That would
Oh,
be
wow.
interesting.
Gotta be
Yeah,
20.
that would be very interesting. Yeah. But anyways, we're just going to see how this game plays out. The stakes are not as high as before, so it might this fixture, whatever result this may bring, might not exactly have any effect on the title race. But it's definitely going to affect either side. You know, if City go on to lose, it could even affect their top four charge. And if Spurs also go on to lose, it could further, dampen their morale even for the Europa League. So there's still a lot to play for, even though the stakes are not that high. And it will just be interesting to see how Guardiola, takes this fixture because all the big sides seem to be beating Guardiola at this point. So, but yeah, Spurs are not actually a big side anyway. So I won't be surprised if City go on to win this one. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how this game goes because it promises to be exciting. It is always exciting. And we'll be here to give all our thoughts when we come for another episode.